Hi students, myself Indranath Chatterjee. Today we'll start with the topic limit. We'll cover first the definition of limit, then the difference between the functional value and the limiting value, then concept of LHL and RHL, and then lastly we'll tell that what is the existence of limit, right? So first come, that is what is the limit, the basic definition of limit. So if any function f of x approach to a real number L, we can say that this is real number or the real value L, when the independent variable x also approach to a point or value that is A, right? And shortly we can denote it as limit x tends to A on the function f of x, if that value will come L. What is the meaning of that? Basically, when x tends to A and f of x is also tends to a real value L. Now, what is that concept of approaching towards the value? So before starting with the limit, first we have to know what is the difference between the functional value and the limiting value. What is functional value? Let's say f of x equals to x plus 3. If I take any value of x, that is 2, then you will get the value of f of x. At that point, x equals to 2, that is you will get 2 plus 3, that is 5. That is the functional value. It means whenever you stand on the point x equals to 2, you will get the value, that is the y-axis value, you will get the value 5. So let's say this is on x-axis, the point 2. So you will get a particular value here. Better to write this is in the dotted line. You will get the value, this is 5. So this is the functional value. So at that point, whenever you will stand on the point 2, you will get a definite value of f of x, that is 5. So you can identify this is the point 2, 5, right? Now, what is the limiting value? Same function, if I write, if x tends to 2 on that function f of x, then we can also write limit x tends to 2 x plus 3, that is 2 plus 3, that is 5. But we can write this is 5, but actually the meaning is not 5. If x tends to the point 2, then f of x will give the tends to the point the value 5. Understood? So this is the limiting value. Now, what is the difference between these 2 points? That is, in functional value, you are standing on that point, but for the case of limiting value, you are not standing on that point on x. You are approaching towards that point, right? So if I say x equals to 2, then that approach can be possible in 2 ways. That is, from left side towards that point 2, and from right side towards that point 2, right? That is the approaching or the tends to value. Tends towards that point, better to say, right? So now, what is the concept of LHL and RHL? that thing, that functional value and limiting value, I hope you got the difference between the functional value and the limiting value. Now, from the left side, if I draw only the x-axis, if I say this is the exact point x equals to 2, towards that point 2, if I come from the left side towards that point 2 or approaches towards the point 2, then there are lots of points you will get. Let's say 1.999999 dot dot dot, 1.979797 dot dot dot. So all the cloud point you will get if you approach from the left side towards that point 2. Now, if you come from the right side towards that point 2, also will get lots of point, that is 2.000011111 dot dot dot, 2.010101 dot dot dot. So in this way you will get lots of crore number of points. In short, you can say that you can get the cloud point which are not exactly at 2. Understood? So all the cloud point, if I denote it as 2 minus, and all the right side point, if I denote it as 2 plus, then every cloud point, all these are very near to that point, but not exactly at that point, right? So that 2 plus or 2 minus, these are only the notation. So in short, you can say that these all the cloud point have some distance from that exact point 2. Understood? So if I say that distance of that cloud point from that exact point is h, then that 2 minus is nothing but 2 minus of h, and that 2 plus is nothing but 2 plus h. That is all the point on the right side of that 2 having some distance, and the distance is very small, so we can say that 2 plus equals to 2 plus of h, right? So LHL, if I take on the limiting value x towards that point 2 minus on that function f of x, you will get a value L1, let's say. And let's say limit x tends to 2 plus on that function f of x, you will get a value approaching to the value, that is L2. That thing also you can denote it as f of minus 2 or 2 minus, that is L1, and here you can say that this is f of 2 plus, that is L2. So this is right hand limit or limiting value, and this is left hand limiting value, right? So if these two values, that LHL left hand limiting value and RHL that right hand limiting value, will be same, then only we can say that limit exists. So here we can write, if LHL equals to RHL, then only we can say that limit exists. Clear? That is, if I approach from the left side towards that point 2, you will get a value which is also, here I am drawing, let's say for LHL, if I go towards that point 2 from the left side, you will get a value which is towards that point on y-axis. And if I come from the right side towards that point 2, you will also get a value from that upper side towards that point on y-axis, right? If these two values will be same, these two limiting value, that is the left hand limiting value and the right hand limiting value will be same, then we can say that this is the, and limit exists or existence of limit. So if limit exists, then only we can solve any problem using limit, right? Any problem using limit. So basically, if I say limit limit x tends to a minus f of x equals to limit x tends to a plus f of x, then this is nothing but a minus f of a minus and f of a plus. If these two values will be same, if these two values will be same, then in short we can write it as limit x tends to a f of x equals to L. You will get the limiting value. Understood? Thank you so much.